Well, the only thing more annoying than YouTube deleting over 10,000 videos of mine is going to a new show thinking, oh, I'm just gonna look at it for a few seconds, and then all of a sudden you see this one thing and you're like, oh man, I'm gonna have to watch this because of this. It's the Red Ranger from Power Rangers in Space. Nah, that's not the thing that got my attention. So this is Babylon 5, I mean Avenue 5. And the captain's like saying some stuff, and then these guys are saying some stuff, and it kind of reminds me of that prequel of Lord of the Rings when they're like, the sea is always right. Except they're saying something like, I forget already. Oh yeah. They say, fly safe, fly true. It's almost like saying, the sea is always right. And then Rocky, the black guy, I mean the Red Ranger. Racist. Okay, I'm not a racist. Shut up. Okay. He's like, oh, my dad, I wanted to see this hero. And you're thinking, okay. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna watch a few more seconds of the show. Because, I'm a sucker for science fiction. And then, like, within a half a second, I was like, oh no, this is Mr. House from House MD. I love that show. And I'm like, I like this actor, man. He's like British. He had an American accent when he was playing House, and I was really, really into that show. So it's like, he's a captain. It's like, it's a comedy. Alright, so spoiler alert. The premise of the show is like Star Trek Voyager. Something's gonna happen, and then they're gonna like get lost in the Delta Quadrant, and then run into dinosaur aliens. Nah, I'm kidding, but I'm not joking about his role as a captain is very similar to his role as the Doctor in House. And now he's talking to an Asian supervisor who's very similar to the supervisor, the head of the hospital in the other show. And so this is like a cruise in space. Yoda? Did I say Yoda? Yoga. Oh no, it's blonde Jack Black. Oh, it's Jude. It's basically like NASA. So they're having a little tour. She's telling the guests about what they do. She's trying to give a small little bright little smile. And her hair is like, look at that hairdo. So the window is broken. It's basically a television, but it's stuck on a channel of heavy industry. And the lady's like, why can't we just see space or something else? We don't want to look at this when we look out the window into space. And it's not a window. It's just a TV. I'd love to hear more about your buoyant lives, guys. Let's go circle back. Okay. Hi, kids. Hello. Welcome to space. Here's an engineer. This is starting to remind me of The Expanse. Suddenly, something happens unexpectedly, and everybody just flies towards the window. Oh, the problem was the gravity flip thing. Technical difficulties. Captain, I'm behind you. So far, this show's a little bit interesting. It's a little bit of a drama. Even though it's supposed to be a comedy. Is it a comedy? It's a little bit funny. Not very funny. Jack Black is having a meeting with the agent. It seems like Season's charged, even though he's the captain. Speaking of Voyager, that I said earlier. I said Voyager. This actor, he played Felix in Voyager. Probably couldn't tell because he was an alien. He had makeup on his face, but he was the cook in Star Trek Voyager. That's him. I can tell. It's his voice. He's playing an astronaut, a Canadian astronaut, the first to land on something somewhere. Is there a dead man in the sky? Yeah, it's just floating. Man, this is a little bit like The Expanse. Oh, like speaking of The Expanse, that was really good until it wasn't, and it fell apart after the first first few seasons. Then it started falling apart. Same thing with Game of Thrones. Okay, I can't really show you a lot of blood. Maybe this video will get deleted by YouTube. They'll just remove it. Or my channel, like they did before. They terminate my channel. They could terminate this video. And the channel. They already deleted over 10,000 videos. Why not do that, Susie? So if you show too much blood, even if it's a medical video that's supposed to help people, the videos get removed. So they were just talking about the blood. And I can't really talk about that. I can't talk about a lot of things. Because if you do, you get your videos removed, you get your channels terminated. It happens to a lot of people all the time, all the time, all the time. Just ask around. You'd be surprised if you don't already know. And you want to know, and you don't want to know, but you really want to know. You need to know. And the captain here, Mr. House, he was like, where's all the blood? Maybe they missed the heart. Maybe you missed the heart. And the girl's like, nah, it's in space. It's frozen until it's gonna get unthawed, and then it unthawed, and then the blood started squirting. Everyone here sends our love and best wishes. They're on a delay. So it's gonna take like 3 years to get back home. Because the trajectory got off. They got off course and they had to like loop around the sun and a bunch of planets, you know, and go on this long detour. And Captain House is like, oh, no big deal. You know, like they'll Google it, they'll figure it out. I mean, you know, they did so many amazing things already. Like they turned the moon into a giant jail. I blame the Yogins. No, he didn't. No, she didn't. No, they did it. If they weren't doing that kind of stuff, they wouldn't have fallen on and then wiped us off the course. Maybe it's Space Noodle Pony's fault. Hey, you act together, man. You feeling lucky, punk? Now they're still talking about what to do. Now he's screaming. Now, I'm not clear about what kind of character he is. Like, is he supposed to be an American or a British person? He has this British accent coming out. Now everybody was looking at him, and including Jack Black. Jack Black was like, what happened to your voice? And he's like, erase my voice? And he's like, no, your accent. It was like British. It was totally British. It's like, who are you? Are you an American? Are you a British person? Did like a puppet show and you did a different voice. Oh no, I didn't. No, you definitely did. Did like a Are you Australian? What? Actually, English. What about the American accent? I'm not even a captain. I did an American accent because then they'll like me more. God, that's not as assuring as having an actual captain. And now he's going to address them as the fake captain, but as the acting captain, because the real captain, Joe, died in space. The most surprising part of the entire first episode was the ending. The credit had a really odd song. Executive producer Will Smith. Just like with Cobra Kai. I think Cobra Kai, and it seems like he's producing a bunch of different things here and there, including the reboot of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. And so the music that I thought was surprising is like, it reminds me of Star Wars, the Book of Boba Fett. Da-da. Except it's like a jazz music. Dum dum. There's a pound beat to it, melody. Boom boom. And there's some kind of jazz instrument playing in the background.